You've got a team in Indiana that's coming in on a 9-game win streak. 10-2, conference champions. Got to be confident, despite the fact that they're going up against an MCLA powerhouse, right? This is a little different, though. This time, Chapman's not at home. They're here in Salt Lake City. It's neutral ground. Both teams have phenomenal players, but none bigger than Dylan Garner. Conference Player of the Year, reigning MCLA Player of the Year. Just an outstanding attackman and really the quarterback for this Chapman team. Indiana, some star power as well. But these guys are largely inexperienced. Many of Indiana's best players and brightest stars are freshmen. So not only is this a first for them, but really a first for the program to be in this position. So excited about the game, certainly looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing the matchups as they unfold.
So we have the teams lined up at the midfield. The Hoosiers, the away team in red, and the Panthers as the home team in white. We're going to send the players back to the benches. I believe we're going to wait for some additional personnel here at the table.
No, we have one person at the table.
If you're watching the game at home, hit us up on social media. We got at DSheridan8 and at Mike J. Brand. Questions, comments, concerns, anything, just hit us up. We'll have some fun with it.
So as we have this little break here, Coach, let's talk about, obviously this is the top seed in the tournament versus the lowest seed in the tournament. How do you, if you're the 1 seed, you got to play with a lot of confidence, but you can't get too overconfident. It's like the old Virginia UMBC basketball game this year. It's never happened before. I don't believe a 16 has ever beaten a 1 in the MCLA. Hope not to jinx it, or maybe I do hope to jinx it as we can
see some history.
But how do you mentally prepare your team for a 1-16 matchup?
Right. Well, I think that the benefit for Chapman is that Coach Hartley and his kids have been here before, many times at this point, and they're pretty familiar with this territory. Obviously, you're going to need to rely on depth. You're going to need to play some people and largely, the bulk of your roster, hopefully, in the 16-1 game to save some legs and be prepared for the games to come. At the same time, if you're too overconfident, you could find yourself on the losing end of history here. So it'll be interesting to see. I believe that Chapman is starting a unfamiliar face on attack today. Number 3, a junior, has not started for them much at attack this year. So this is a new wrinkle we're seeing out of the Panthers.
And then let's flip it. The 16 seed, obviously you got nothing to lose. No one's picking you, right? You play with a little bit of a little comfort. You don't have, there's no stress on you.
Yeah, I mean, really, the Indiana team, they lost a couple games early on in the season, and they haven't lost in a couple months. So they're riding a high right now. And again, I think the fact that a lot of their offensive firepower is freshmen actually works to their benefit. These kids don't know any better.
Right. And like we talked about in the last game, maybe you're playing for the future,
Yeah, a little bit. Nobody wants to say that. It's like the moral victory type of thing.
Right.
But at the same time, every single experience is a positive one.
So we have our first face-off here of the first game in the first round of the Division I bracket. And Indiana comes away with a decisive face-off win, and let's see what happens now when the with the pressures applied.
Alex Kane, all-conference, special teams guy. Unfortunately, looks like they retained possession.
Chapman, a mainstay here in the MCLA. They consistently make the tournament. Like we mentioned, they won it all 2 years ago on their home field. And they weren't. And then last year they made the finals, I believe, and they weren't a high seed last year. This year they come in as the #1 seed. A lot of people have Utah picked as their favorite, but the Panthers earned the #1 seed with an undefeated season.
Indiana starting in an open set here, a one circle with the player at X and a player at the top center. Look for them to get into some two-man action on the wings here. Mark carries through X. They're really spreading them out, getting everybody involved in the game, everybody getting a touch. I like the approach here from the Hoosiers.
A lot of teams here today seem to be based on the state that their college is in. Great S-dodge here. Deflected shot. But what I was mentioning is the Indiana Hoosiers have a very diverse roster. Yes, they're filled with some Indiana homegrown talent, but they have kids from a lot of places,
Mark.
and they get off to a great start.
The freshman, first-team all-conference player, comes out, turns the corner, scores, right-handed, short side.
Talking with Coach Hartley before the game, you could tell he was not overlooking this game.
He came in with a healthy amount of respect for the Hoosiers, for sure.
Supremely focused.
Got a new face-off guy out there for Indiana, Jake Lamar. They it looked, based off the stats that they pretty much alternated, but Alex Kane had gotten the all-conference nod early on Chapman.
Ambitious quick restart there.
Big body. William Cella.
He's got the hair to match.
He was a big-time recruit out of St. Louis, actually. I know he got a lot of Division I looks. Ended up at Indiana, and obviously you can tell by his frame that that was appealing to college coaches, and he was in the recruiting process.
So Indiana with a 1-0 lead in the 16-1 matchup, and here he comes.
Getting downhill, draws a slide, gets it out, swing it to the backside. We got an approach.
Pass. Wow.
Okay.
Forrest Harvey gives the Hoosiers a 2-0 lead.
Quick release, good ball movement. That was excellent offense right there from Indiana. It's interesting, these sliding defense. We've watched the first two games, and there wasn't much sliding going on. Now we see a quick slide out of Chapman, and we see some great ball movement from the Hoosiers.
2 minutes into the first game here, first quarter. Indiana 2, Chapman nothing. Let's see how Chapman can respond. Obviously, the face-off axis played a huge part in the Hoosiers' ability to get shots. And they get another one.
Another clean win.
They are stalking him out after that win. Brian Tate working at X. Great job getting open to relieve the pressure off his face-off man. Sub game coming up, attacking a little bit in the sub game, keeping the defense on their toes.
They rolled Cella right out of the box again.
Put that shoulder down.
Kyle Souza, stiff on-ball defense from Souza. Freshman long stick midi out of Northern California. It was all league this year.
You hear the Indiana coaches screaming value. Value this possession, value the ball. Don't force it, don't throw away.
Absolutely. They want to dictate tempo, especially against the high-powered Chapman offense. So their best defense is having the ball. It's a winter-time mentality from a possession standpoint. And as soon as we say that, they jam one and turn it over. So now we're going to see Chapman attempt their first clear and see if Indiana jumps in any type of organized ride here.
And here we have Chapman's first offensive possession.
They get the ball in the stick of Wiley Bonham, a transfer out of Loyola from Monte Vista, California. He's had an excellent year, first team All-SLC. And this is Dylan Garner's first touch of the game.
Garner, part of that Portland, Oregon trend that Chapman has been bringing in kids for years.
Yeah, they've had so much success with those kids from Oregon, and the pipeline just continues to flow for them.
Garner's kind of already cemented himself as kind of an all-time great here in the MCLA. A preseason Player of the Year nominee. This next week may determine whether he wins that award or not.
Yeah, he's dynamic. Ball in his stick, he can dodge, he can feed. Without the ball in his stick, he's effective off ball. He's just a really talented lacrosse player, and certainly a dominant figure here in the MCLA.
Big sweep, left-handed sweep. They find Garner in the back corner. Pass down, pick down. Doesn't seem like Austin Newman is too afraid of that matchup.
Another freshman,
save.
right? Newman.
Matt White with the great ground ball and rollback. Chad Balick, the goalie, with the big save and clear.
Nice wheels. Oh, yard sale.
After the flag, we get a little helicopter, and the Hoosiers will get their first man out. Man, they are not short on confidence. The 16 seed are playing like they are not a 16 seed, that's for sure.
It's a long game here, Brando. A lot of lacrosse to be played, but 2-0, man up, you got to feel good.
With 9:54 remaining in the first quarter, Indiana holding on to a 2-0 lead in the first. Opportunity to run a man up.
There's our first "he don't want it" call of the day. Well, not of the day, of this game. It's a popular refrain here at the MCLA tournament.
Nice inside roll here on the man up. Looks like Chapman's applying a little pressure here on this man up. Ambitious shot, and he scores. Cella, 3-0 lead. That's one you wish you could have back.
Yeah, I think that the Chapman goalie needs to just make one save here to get himself going and kind of gain some confidence. But these guys are getting to him early. Really, I think it's 3 shots on cage, 3 goals at this point, right? We got a change up at the faceoff X for the Panthers. Omid Farhadi definitely needed that little spark. That he comes up with the face-off win with the long stick, gets Garner the ball. Garner gets inside.
Kind of forcing it there.
Yeah.
Indiana goalie out of the cage. This is dangerous. Got to get back in there.
Garner trying to take things into his own hands there. Maybe press the issue a little too much, but they get the offensive board, and they got another chance for possession. David Howren getting his first opportunity on the field. Dynamic freshman midi out of Orange County. Big right-handed shot. It's interesting to me they keep Bonham and Garner up top, operating at the restraining line and above, and they bring their midfielders down low, putting people defensively in positions they're not necessarily accustomed to.
They still don't want it.
Two-man game here.
Little high cross check, and there's a shot.
Yep.
Another big save. This goalie's been out of the cage a little too much here.
If you're Indiana, you're completely comfortable with that offensive take, though. And it's Indiana ball.
Ten-man ride coming out.
Yeah.
See if they can break it.
Eyes
is
up.
He going to shoot? Great job.
Nice restraint there to not get the push in the back.
Timeout, Indiana. 7:45 remaining in the first quarter. Indiana with a shocking 3-0 lead. The 16 seed, giving Chapman everything they can handle.
Absolutely, just hitting on all cylinders, really. Defensively, getting stops at the face-off X, doing very well, and then offensively, very efficient. Certainly not what we expected from Chapman to start here.
So we'll take a quick break. 7:45 left in the first timeout. You're watching the MCLA. And we're back. Chapman, the number 1 seed, on the ropes a little bit here, although it's a long game. They, as a number 1 seed, you hope you've earned the right to have an easy game, right? You want to be a number 1 seed so your path gets easier. But when you run into a team like this, and I'm sure the committee that decides the seeds, it seems to be between the GRLC and the LSA every year to get that last seed. And this year, obviously, Indiana got that 16, and A&M, who's playing Texas A&M, who's playing Utah behind us, got the 15. So.
And the game is 3-0 on that side as well, but the Utes are up.
Yep.
Farina looking to dodge over the top for his left hand.
Great one more.
Yep.
Shot wide.
You come off the drift there, and that's an easy one more for a step down. You cannot come off the drift in that situation.
What do you mean by come off the drift, Coach?
So an adjacent hedge or an adjacent slides there as a guy is going over the top, it's just such an easy throw right in front of you for a step down. That's, again, why we try to keep guys down the sides and not let them attack the middle, but you're going to need to stay with the drift and slide from the crease if you're going to slide.
Oh, costly turnover. Great ground ball by Chapman. Just an unforced error.
Blanchard's been very effective from a defensive standpoint all season long for Chapman and coming up with ground balls, and not surprised to see him make a play there.
So the Panthers bring into their offensive end. They're in a 3-0 hole early, more than halfway through the first quarter.
Uncharacteristic mistake there from Chapman. Over and back on a perimeter pass that was mishandled. Here's Blanchard out on the perimeter, putting some pressure on and dislodges the ball.
Tate and Blanchard fighting for it. Ball still alive.
That's off Indiana. Should be Chapman ball. There we go.
So we have our first timeout for the Panthers. 5.5, a little bit under 6 left. The Panthers, like we mentioned, are down 3-0. Well, what are you saying in this timeout if you're Dallas Hartley, Coach?
I think, yeah, it's so early. The score is inconsequential. You just work your offense, and you try to get the looks that you guys are familiar with and get people comfortable, settled in. I wouldn't stress too much about the score. More so just making sure that you guys are doing what you do.
Live look in there at the Chapman huddle, the defensive, the defensive huddle, yeah. And I think you know, from my perspective, you don't want to rush your offense in this situation.
Nah.
Get meticulous goals, get earned goals, get assisted goals.
To their credit, to get here, even though they're undefeated, Chapman had some pretty close games in the SLC tournament with ASU and then with Concordia Irvine. So, again, I don't think that they're flustered by this 3-0 deficit. I think they're just going to come out and run their offense and get everybody comfortable here.
Yeah, it's interesting not to see ASU here. They've been a mainstay for the past
100%.
few years.
So we see George McGuirk in here, number 14, and he's customarily a starting attackman for Chapman, and now he's coming in through the midfield and gets a short stick matchup. I wouldn't be surprised to see them to go with him. Here you go. Draws a quick slide, throws back. Let's see him bump it to the weak side. We got one open. Garner got a short stick matchup on the best attackman in the country. Here we go. Good shot. Misses the cage. I think that's exactly the kind of set that Chapman wanted. They ended up getting what they wanted, and unfortunately Garner didn't convert, but they're going to go right back to it. Initiate with McGuirk, set up that backside dodge.
Chapman's doing a great job of not forcing it.
Yeah. Yep. Now they got the backside dodge with Bonham. So this is exactly what they're looking to get out of their offense, is to get these short stick matches off of slides and recovers.
High bouncer over the cage, backed up by Chapman. Tyler Miller doing a good job.
Here's McGuirk. Overhand on the run. Good take.
Winds are picking up here in Salt Lake City. We apologize for the noise here through the microphones. It's been a beautiful day so far. The wind is actually helping with the sunny day, cooling us off a little bit here. I'm sure the players appreciate it as well. McGuirk doing a good job going back and forth, finding Garner.
Healthy possession here by the Panthers. Couple quality looks at the cage.
Big lefty cranking a goal, and Chapman gets their first. Wiley Bonham, the sophomore attackman, gets Chapman their first goal with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. So it took them 11 minutes to get their first goal.
Yeah, but that was quality offense. You know, sustained possession, multiple looks, got some great matchups. Eventually they end up with Wiley Bonham with the time and room, with his strong hand in a spot that he loves to shoot from. So I think Chapman's got to be excited about that kind of possession, and if they can get anything going at the X, I feel like they're going to get right back in this game. There you go. It's what you needed. False start on Kane. Chapman ball. See a little early offense here. Chapman long stick, cuts the crease, trying to maintain somebody on the field. It's really interesting to me how Garner and Bonham come up the field and play at the high wing position, and they're leaving Miller, an off-ball kind of crease guy at X. If Indiana catches on, that they can put a little pressure there, and because Bonham and Garner are so far upfield, that could be a challenging long passes for Miller.
Yeah, Garner in the crease is a little bit different. You would assume he'd be their creator, but maybe you also want him to finish. And there's a turnover. Indiana will look to clear. And they do with ease, and here comes a double team.
Chapman's in that 10-man. Looks like they're retreating now. Goalie's getting in the cage, but it's not done until you, there you go. Ball's on the turf.
The ride is the whole field, Coach.
Yep. Garner's speed in the open field is what makes him so dangerous. KYP, right? Know your personnel. Yeah. Throws back to a pole, who's covered. Difficult turnover.
Another value call with
Yeah.
Probably their yellow.
I love the discipline that the Hoosiers are showing in this game in the early stages.
Indiana will look to change a little personnel.
Farino, he's done a nice job initiating offense from the high wing here. We'll see if they try to go back to it.
Here's Brian Mark at X. Like you mentioned earlier, Coach, this team is young, which sometimes is a positive. You know, they have nothing to lose. They don't have to...
Well, there's definitely no pressure on them from that standpoint. Everybody kind of expects Chapman to run away with it.
Pass in front, nice catch. Great last-second check. Chapman has numbers if they look to push.
And they absolutely do. At worst, right? At worst, you trap somebody in on the defensive half the field.
Lucky save there, almost trickled in. That might have been not a good time to get an outside shot there, although there was a tough catch made. Ooh, nice little move there. Austin Newman.
No.
They're looking for the offside call, but I don't think it was there.
They had the correct number of players. Oh,
off the pipe.
One step to increase his angle, and he would have an empty net to shoot at. I got to think that this pace is favorable to Chapman, just with the depth that they have. Their ability to attack and transition, their long pulls.
And their age and their experience.
Sure. When Indiana was controlling tempo, it seemed like that was way more favorable for them in terms of controlling this game.
Here's Halloran waiting for some.
This is a matchup here. McGuirk versus Sella.
I do not believe the clock is right. The refs are supposed to have the time right now. How much time? It doesn't work. I don't know. No, but I don't know if it's right.
McGuirk gets topside. Shot. Wide.
Is that clock right?
We're having some discrepancies here with the clock. Ours has a 00. The far side clock is hard to see with the glare.
Tate has it. Trail check coming. Sella hands free. High and hard. This is just up north. Short time. Looking to jam one here. Oh, pipe. Barrage of shots there at the end.
So it looks like Coach Hartley is going to address the officials and try to get this clock situation figured out, because it's it can be a little bit frustrating here when you've earned your right to go to the national tournament.
Into the first, 3-1 Indiana, and I got to tell you, they've done a really, really good job on both ends of the field. It could be worse right now for Chapman, quite frankly.
And when you go down a couple and the clock starts messing with you, you start to lose.
Yeah, no question. It's easy to come unglued.
Hey, Max.
So we're going to get a little conversation here with the officials at the box. But after the first 3-1 Indiana, we'll take a really quick break and we'll be right back with the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which is going to go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah, in the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. The 116 matchup, Chapman, Indiana. Gotten off to a pretty fiery start here. Face-off won by Chapman.
Big time ground ball by Phillips off the wing. Haliburta, all-conference SLC face-off guy, is not off.
Getting humbled.
Yeah, he's not off to a great start from that standpoint, but he got some excellent help from his wing play there.
The Panthers up to the midfield as they get their personnel out on the field. So Chapman personnel are finally on the field.
Chapman's moved Souza, typically a long stick midfielder for him, down low to close defense.
Here comes that wing dodge. Great one more passes. Great snipe.
That's beautiful offense. I mean, when you dodge from the high wing and get downhill and try to throw the ball back across your body up top with pressure on your hands, that's difficult. And he made that play look easy, and they just series of one-mores at that point.
No 25 in the book, but he had just a great shot there and a goal.
Yeah.
Brings Chapman within one, 3-2. I think their deliberate offense and their discipline is what's going to bring them back in the game.
No question. Yeah, if they just stay kind of poised and do their thing on each end of the field, they'll be right in it to the end.
Face off.
Haliburta wins the clamp, but the ball's loose and it's possession in Indiana. Oh, nice. Relentless pursuit. We got to
give him the timeout.
Beautiful call by the coach of the Hoosiers.
Pete Nelson, Minnesota Duluth grad. He's been with the Hoosiers for a few years. Has done some good things.
It's a great timeout.
It's tough. I think Matt.
So another timeout here. 13:31 left. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with Indiana Chapman at the 2000 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. So we're back here from Salt Lake City, Utah. Behind us, the Utah Utes have a commanding 7-2 lead over the Aggies of Texas A&M. Over here on our field, field 6, we have a 3-2 Indiana lead. Indiana with the ball with a big timeout. Avoided a turnover with their timeout.
Yeah, we've got, I think, a little bit of zone defense out of the Chapmans here. A little wrinkle out of a timeout. Shorty's on the bottom. Kind of daring the Hoosiers to initiate from behind the cage and change up the way that they're attacking them a little bit.
A little open set here for Indiana as well on offense. Slippery sticks, another unforced turnover.
That's exactly what you're looking for out of the zone.
Let them throw it away for us.
Yep, no question. Take them out of their downhill dodging.
Bingo, the box call. Do you call it a bingo, coach, so the other team doesn't know what you're talking about?
We actually call the box Canada. We call the midline Mexico.
And is the other side of the field? What if you're at the midfield line and the sideline? Do you have a name for that?
The cone.
Okay. Chapman here looks to equalize the score. Under 12 here in the second quarter. Perfect weather here in Salt Lake City for lacrosse. There's McGuirk getting inside. Great early slide, and it's backed up. Tyler Miller will reinsert. Great one more from Garner. Look at this. Great passing. Get yourself a goal.
Yeah, as long as Bonham's on the finishing end of that, that's a tough save for the keep. He can really bring it, changes his angles with his delivery. If I'm Indiana, I'm going to be a lot slower to rotate off him and let somebody else beat you with a 10 rim shot.
You also got to respect and appreciate the little things that Garner's doing there. Just a quick one more pass. You know, he could have, you know, in a few other teams with a few other players, they would want to try to force themselves into the mix there, but he knew that his best option was to rely on his teammates there.
And the Chapman offense, a lot of it is dodge to initiate, draw the slide, and then get it moving. So I think from Indiana's standpoint, you got to implement some fake slides.
Sure, show and go.
Yeah, 100%. Don't commit, because once you're rotating, Chapman's got the guys on the backside to finish.
Chapman wins the face-off.
Salza legs it out right into trouble. And great little pass and draws the flag. Big-time play by Salza, freshman. And we get another "they don't want you" call.
It's a little different, little variation.
Yeah, little change up.
You don't want it.
He don't want it. They don't want you. Curveball.
A lot of psychologists out here for sure. Howren finds 25, our last goal scorer. We'll try to get a name for him as soon as we can. Might be the blood jersey there, 25. So 25 is actually 28 in my book. Parker Core.
Parker Core.
He had the last goal. Excuse me, the goal 2 goals ago. But now thankfully we got his name.
All right, we're going to get to see a man-up look here from the Panthers. And that's a tough task for the Hoosiers. You've got a guy in Garner on the right side and a guy in Bonham on the left side that can really bring it. So it's really tough to kind of dictate which side of the field you want to force the ball back to, because there are threats on both. You're going to give up something, right? You're going to give up something on a man down. You got to pick your poison. Little carry roll-off seal for Bonham. Like that little quick hitter.
Man up, still alive here for Chapman.
They might try it on the other side for Garner. Yeah, here they go. Right, same play.
There he is coming around. Little seal. Shot right
Big
to the
time
goalie.
save, yeah. And that goes back to my original point. When you have a threat on both sides of the field, it stretches you out in different ways.
And they swing a ball and put you to sleep, and then they kind of reverse the rotation of the ball, and that can
Got to tell you, Chad Balick, the goalie for Indiana, is doing a nice job. 61% save percentage on the year, and has held the #1 seed to 3 goals thus far.
Sure. Under 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. About 9:30 left here in the second quarter. The penalty's released. They do a great job of killing that penalty.
Farino's on the field here for the Hoosiers. He's been a great initiator for them. And Halloran stuck on defense, so we'll see if they look to initiate with number 27 here.
Indiana paces the ball around at X. Being a little meticulous here.
Putting some pressure on from behind. Chapman's back to man-to-man, which is, you know, that zone wrinkle out of the timeout was effective for him.
Big shot from Farino. It's saved.
Loose in front of the cage.
Great piece of hockey.
Oh, wow.
And they score off it. Brian Mark, another freshman, Long Island guy from Port Jeff. Little backhand, cross-hand hockey goal. You'll take him however you can get him, though, Coach.
Absolutely. When the ball's loose in front of the crease there, you cannot worry about the ball. You got to take the man and get him out of there. Let your goalie clean the ball up. I give the 15. 15.
15 Brian Mark on the goal.
I give the Hoosiers a ton of credit. You know, Chapman comes back from a 3-0 deficit, ties it up, and Indiana answers.
We're going to re-rack the face-off here.
Halliburton versus Kane. It's going to be an interesting matchup all day.
Halliburton, not a face-off stay-on guy like last year.
Yeah, their guy last year was more multi-dimensional, but at any rate, Halliburton's had a great season for him.
Yep. We'll re-rack him again. Officials just making sure they get it right. Face-off scrap on the far side of the field.
Wing play for Chapman's coming up big right now. Phillips done a nice job. It's 2 in a row. That's speed off the wing. Huge. McGuirk comes in from the box and gets another short stick matchup. East Coast transplant, Connecticut kid. Making a big impact in the SLC this year.
I'm sure he's having a horrible time in Southern California.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a little change of pace for him.
Here's McGuirk on that wing dodge, gets to his left hand.
They look to draw that backside. Bonham rushed it. Like to see him be a little wider and either have the ability to let it go or re-dodge the approach. He was kind of tight there, limited his options.
Balick doing a good job in cage still for Indiana. Moves well laterally.
Oh boy.
Austin Newman in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, you never want to see the D guy try to go for a skate there.
Hello, Newman.
Hello, Newman. Sella back in the mix. Big fella looking for a little hidden ball trick.
A lot of effort in that hidden ball trick right there.
You got to test the waters, right? We were talking about
Sure.
that earlier. Why not, right? Doesn't cost you anything.
My high school team scored 2 this year.
Nice.
You only got to fool one guy.
That's it, right? This guy's standing in the goal.
It doesn't have to be the goal either.
Yeah. Athleticism from the Chapman Panthers between the lines. Separation right there.
Trucking down the field.
Bonham,
Here
low
we
to
go.
high. Oh, Barry.
Wow.
Yeah, what a save. He's got to let that go.
Balin with the save up to Sella. Though they're pushing, they're calling value, but they're
this pace favors the Panthers.
you can move the ball fast and value it at the same time.
100%.
I think that a lot of teams get the yellow call and they kind of slowed their feet, whereas you may ultimately have to work harder to kind of yellow the ball, for lack of a better term. Jack Goldberg over to Farino again.
He's had a good game thus far. He drew a slide, bump it through, look inside. There it is. Oh, nice save.
Kind of ran out of angle there.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a flag. Yep.
Loose ball?
Yeah. It deserved it. And now Indiana should definitely take their time and work for an A+ look here. No need to rush this possession. And this is a matchup that's favorable to the Hoosiers here. One of their best offensive players with a short stick in a spot of the field he's very comfortable in. Early slide from Souza. Look, hands free, goal. Wow.
So Brian Mark.
Just nice execution. I mean, overall discipline by the Hoosiers. Very impressed with them.
Gets it through to Brian Tate, freshman, another freshman attackman from Chicago.
We don't stop. Let's go. We're here. Let's go.
Indiana came to play.
They sure did.
I'm so impressed with them. They get the flag down there. They find the matchup. They execute the look that they were, working for. And now they have a man-up face-off, up 2, with a minute locked-in penalty.
So explain to me how that was a penalty and the ball was on the ground, Coach.
That's a great question. I mean, he must have deemed that to be
egregious.
Yes, and it was a hard hit, but I don't think there was anything with
intent.
Yeah, no, I think it was just 2 guys scrapping for it. But again, here the face-off dominance. So now you're going to Halliburton be stuck unless he gets a substitution and be forced to play some man down.
Here we go. Got some numbers.
Yeah.
Well, they're subbing as well. Find Sella.
Oh, you got Sella on the backside if you swing it quickly.
They value possession. And
I like it. I think that's a good decision. So now they're going to execute their man-up offense, and we'll see if they can get something going. With the face-off dominance they've had, you almost want to go early so you can see if you can maybe get a 2-for here.
Sure. Little 2-for-1 that you see a lot in basketball. Leave a little time on.
There you go.
On that
Shot
penalty
was
clock
deflected
for you.
17 seconds.
Once again, you're watching the MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour here from Salt Lake City, Utah. My name is Mike Brand, joined by Cleveland State head coach Dylan Sheridan, former MCLA All-American.
We got a treat here, folks. This has been an outstanding game, and I give all the credit in the world to Indiana. They just came to play, and they've done a real nice job. Skip pass to Sella, big save. Big stop for the Panthers, much needed.
Great man down kill by Chapman, and they'll try to re-engage Indiana with their offensive play. They have holding a defenseman there on offense.
Zach Rich, he didn't get the clean look at it, but he got a shoulder on it, and that's all it takes. They got to stop and kill the penalty. Now they get to try their hand on an offensive possession here. Pick coming, Bonham coming top side for his strength. Now he's got a short step matchup. He got the switch.
So they do a good job of trapping.
Yeah, you're looking to go early
midfielder
here if you're Indiana, but they don't have a slide ready. I think you got to try to get an early slide to Bonham in that situation.
Bonham does a great job of getting top side, but can't find the back of the cage.
He's really, dangerous with his feet set. It doesn't look like when his feet are moving, he's nearly as effective of a shooter. And he's only a sophomore, so that's going to definitely improve with more practice and more experience. But he is deadly with his feet set. Got a 1-4-1 here. They're going to dodge the wing. They're going to follow off the crease and look for a throwback. There it is. A little bit tough of a pass to make. Again, trying to throw the ball across your body is just really, really difficult.
Two ships moving in two different directions.
Yeah. Offensive rebound by Chapman, though. They get to set it up and try again. Halloran, great split. One more. Unable to connect.
Great outlet.
Yeah, absolutely. Indiana really impressed with these guys, doing a nice job.
No lack of confidence from the Indiana team, which is eager. It can be scary to be the 16th seed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't think that their schedule is chock full with high-powered opponents like the Chapman team was. So this is really their first,
Big test.
attempt at a national power, and they're going toe-to-toe with them. they were able to beat Purdue in the final to get this bid. And now we're seeing a shutoff here. I love that Coach Hartley is willing and confident in his players to just mix it up. We've seen zone out of a timeout. We're seeing a shutoff here. And it's really about changing tempo. And Coach Hartley's confident in his guys and their athleticism, and not afraid to put a few wrinkles in.
Goldberg dodges the right alley, swings back to his strong hand.
And Phillips is an excellent athlete. We've seen him get a couple GBs off the wing. Now he's playing lockdown, short stick defense. Really impressed with him in the early going.
That was moving. You saw that a mile away.
And now we're going to see transition from the Chapman Panthers, and they're going to have a nice break here.
15 should have gone with him.
Here we go. One. Oh, poor execution. Just spacing. Poor spacing. That is a stroke of luck for the Hoosiers. I love how positive the Indiana bench is. These guys are real supportive of each other, and just I think it carries them a long way.
I talked to Coach Pete Nelson before the game. I asked him how he was feeling. He said, I feel great. The guys feel great, and that makes me feel great. So
it's awesome.
It's always a great feeling. I don't think I've ever felt great before.
No,
I'll be honest with you.
Pretty rare that I don't even feel good at the end of games. I don't feel good really at all.
I was telling him that, if one of my guys loses or forgets his mouthpiece, it derails me completely and little things like that.
Yeah.
So we come to the end of the first half. Indiana still holds on to a 5-3 lead. So we go into halftime with a 16th seed having a lead. Pretty rare. So at the half, we'll take a break. You're watching the 2018 MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour from Salt Lake City, Utah. We appreciate you being with us. Come on back.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough to kind of help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight. You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings. Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Engage on social media here. This is a great one.
And we're back for face-off action in the second half. Kicking off. Indiana with a surprising 5-3 lead, the 16 seed over the 1. The 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. Second half action of our third game of the day in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
The game within the game here, Brando. We're going to see if Kane can continue to have success against Haliburton.
Oh, yeah. Face-off
possessions, so key, especially in a low-scoring game like this one, where both teams are trying to value the ball and dictate tempo. Kane has gotten the better of Haliburton thus far, but we'll see if that continues.
Check us out online. We're kind of multicasting here all over. Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube.
Hit us up. Twitter, DSheridan8, Mike J. Brand.
Love to hear from you.
False start gives Chapman the ball to start the half. And McGuirk is back down on attack for the Panthers, so it looks like they had to deviate from the game plan a little bit.
Yeah. Chapman getting settled here, swinging that ball, giving everyone a touch. Finding that short stick matchup.
Parker Core looking to get down the righty alley here. Look for the throwback. There it is. Oh, he rips it through. Really Garner.
And he scores.
Bing. And the ball was deflected. You can't even fault the goalie there. The ball was tipped. He had no idea where it was going. Great. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start for the Panthers, right? Early possession, great look. How about that look from Parker Core?
Great through look.
Wow.
50 seconds into the second half. Brings Chapman within one. Could be a goal you look back on that they got themselves a lot of momentum from. Yeah, you thought he was in trouble.
Outstanding feed, you know.
And he finds Garner. I'm sure they've had that connection going all year.
There's a face-off win by Lamar.
Finds a point shot.
Oh.
I think he was shooting that before he caught it.
Yeah, ill-advised shot from his shoestrings. Nice save by Rich. And now Chapman has the ability to get back-to-back goals and really get on a run. Phillips trips. He's in trouble. See him run his way out. Triple teamed. Ball's on the turf. A lot of pressure here by the Hoosiers. Flag down.
Flies.
I think that was a little bit of a soft call personally, but you know what? I'm not over there. So
I can easily assume Coach Hartley talked in the halftime about throwing the first punch of the second half, and they've accomplished that for sure.
So they go right to the invert with Miller coming through the box. Get the shotgun call here by the Panthers. We'll see what it looks like. Over the top. Big time over the head check. Oh.
Ambitious on the second one. Let's see if they can capitalize. He gets to the middle.
Ball's still in play. Flag is down, so this is a free possession, and the Panthers are putting on a ton of pressure. I love the poise, the discipline. This is definitely a veteran squad. These guys are doing a nice job. Bonham with the short stick. You got to go to him early. Get it out of his stick.
You got to wonder.
Ball's still in. Caught from behind. Miller, hands free, off the pipe.
Still in.
Ball's still Bonham. Ah, nice.
You got to. I would think with a ground ball like that, you got to say to yourself, we got these guys in the ropes. Let's keep them on the ropes. Let's not bail them out by just taking an ill-advised shot.
Absolutely.
But they get the possession back. 44 for Indiana with the slash.
Again, Bonham, when he has to shoot with his feet on the move, is not nearly as effective. But Indiana did a nice job of getting him off his spot, making him shoot on the run there. And Balick was able to come up with a clean save. Now that's going to be a much more difficult feat to ask in a man-down situation.
Yes.
So
you're tired. You're coming off a long possession.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Bonham get his hands free here and stick one.
Three set for Chapman, kind of floating. Great one more waterfall.
Nice approach.
Great approach.
Good breakdown there from Indiana. Miller on the crease, working to be effective. He vacates into an open set. Bonham, skip.
Tries to go near side. It's a little bit wide. 30 seconds, about 30 seconds remain in this penalty. Big outside shot.
Bonham.
I feel like Bonham and Garner are almost mirror images of each other.
Yeah.
Same size, same build, same kind of mannerisms in their stick skills. Big save.
Big save. Could potentially be a huge stop for Indiana if they can run this penalty out and clear the ball effectively.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release.
Kind of surprised we didn't see a 10-man there from Chapman. Man up. They had shown 10-man earlier in the 10-on-10. At any rate, they still caused a turnover, and now it's Chapman ball.
Four minutes have gone by here in the third quarter.
Great pass, drawing rotations.
Gotta let that fly.
Approach, Garner under.
Shot,
boom.
finds it.
Great
Garner.
job.
Great hitch, great underneath move. Finds that far top right corner, and they tie the ball game up.
Number 27 for Chapman.
I was wrong.
He didn't. He wasn't on the finishing end. That was Garner, but he was on the initiating end, and did a fantastic job of getting underneath S-dodge and then throwing the ball through X. McGuirk transfers the ball to Garner, and Garner did a nice job with the backside finish dodge.
So, as predicted, I believe you knew Chapman was going to battle back at some point.
No question.
I just don't think Indiana could sustain their energy and face-off win for Indiana. They're still trapped in their defensive zone. Need to clear.
No 10-man.
What's a Hoosier, Coach?
What is a Hoosier? Isn't it a covered wagon?
You're probably right.
And they're trapping him. Great trap by the Panthers.
Great ride. Souza with the ground ball. They're going to try to trap here. They have Souza and Hill in the defense, at the offensive end as defensemen, and they're instructed to stay out there.
And this is something that you can do effectively when you have attackmen like Garner that can initiate and beat a pole. You know, if you have attackmen that are more finishers, can't really dodge, and you initiate through the midfield, you're not going to leave guys out there as often.
You're essentially playing 4-on-4 here.
It's something that you got pretty familiar with when you became a Brown coach, and they had a guy like Malloy that could initiate, and they could keep, Kemp and Tullett on the field at all times.
I think the difference was, Kemp and Tullett are both hockey guys.
Right.
And they had better stick skills than some of the offensive players.
Sure. But again, if you don't have an initiating attackman,
Right.
there's not much you can do with it.
Well.
There you go.
Shot finish. The two-man statue works, and Bonham finishes to give Chapman their first lead of the day.
Absolutely. You're playing 4-on-4, right? And with that much space, Garner gets a step on his man, draws a hedge. Bonham, finds some space on the crease.
Just about 9 minutes remaining here in the third. Chapman takes their first lead, 6-5. They have all the momentum. I think they've halftime speech. I like that line from Coach Hartley. If you can whack at it, you can pick it up.
No doubt. I see a lot of guys try to hockey balls that they can just easily pick up in their sticks. Face-offs so important. Chapman's been getting outstanding wing play, and it's been the difference. And again, Phillips comes up with another ground ball off the wing. I mean, he might be the unsung hero of this game.
So we get a little advantage here at the midfield line, a little sub game. Let's see how they take advantage of it. He wants to just take it himself. Ooh. Yeah. McWhirr couldn't handle the cross crease feed.
I get the idea. You get a momentary 6-on-5, but it forces you to play faster than you want to or are more comfortable playing, and I just don't know that it's advantageous. And now Indiana, reverse transition, big save by Rich. Blanchard with an awesome ground ball goose to his teammate up the field, and now we're into a track meet. Parker Core runs by his man, hands free, misses the goal.
Great job changing speed there by Core, and we're going to get a timeout. So 8:01 remaining in the third. Chapman with a 1-goal lead. We're going to get a timeout here. You're watching the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour, and we'll be right back. Canadian finisher, just who's coaching? Yeah, do whatever he asks him to do. Right. Is that our 2 goals this year? Hey, they go, listen, it's a great time for a long yeah. What's that?
Hey, keep it up, Mo!
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
It's a throwback.
Throwback the Yeah D. After the timeout, Chapman reinitiates with Dylan Garner.
Let's see it, Chap!
I think a lot of MCLA fans were hoping Garner would get a look for the MLL. Didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a tough league, tough nut to crack. There's so few teams, so many talented players out there. I think if the LA Riptide still existed, he might have got a better opportunity. But when you're talking about flying guys in, it's not going to happen.
They find Bonham on the backside. He can't get it on Cage.
I like it, though. They do a nice job setting him up for shots. So he's a volume shooter, and eventually he puts it on Cage. It's tough to stop. McGuirk turns the corner. Balick says no.
Indiana chance to equalize here. I think
this is where they get into trouble, right? They're trapping them.
And there you go,
yeah.
right on cue.
In between the boxes, they're struggling with those clears.
Quite a catch there by the fan there. Seems like it's hotter at 5:30 than it was at noon.
Yeah, the sun has been strong. It's that kind of desert climate.
Chapman taking some time off the clock.
Despite the time of possession discrepancy, it's a one-goal game.
Right.
And so if the Hoosiers can just get a stop here, backside find. Yeah.
Wiley Bonham, Chapman's 7th goal of the game. Didn't have to do much.
Garrett Stemler, great dodge, great look to the backside. I tell you what, between Core's look over the top to Garner and then Stemler's look to the backside pipe there, those guys are doing a great job initiating the offense and creating opportunities for their big-time studs to finish.
So as a defensive coach, I would think that you need a two-slide from somewhere else, right?
Right. Or make those guys score. You know that Garner and Wiley Bonham are going to score in bunches.
Right.
Why don't you say, we're going to stay with them, and let's make Stemler, let's make Parker Core their primary scoring threats.
Nice little face-off win for Chapman. Make it take it Lacrosse. Meet Ferrati with the ground ball.
He's played a good game.
Sure.
He's a solid player.
Done what's been asked of him. He even has a chance to get offensive here.
Yeah.
I don't think his teammates were as inclined as he was. Hear Coach Hartley say, I just want to win the face-off and get my offensive guys out there. So
yeah, and you have success throughout the season kind of being cute with some of the substitution stuff. They actually got a nice goal here in the 4-on-4 doing that, but ultimately he wants to dictate tempo here. He knows it's a long tournament. He's a very seasoned coach, and he wants to get his offensive people on and just dominate possessions. Blake Lee going to get a high, long dodge here for his right hand. He might sweep over the top. No, he's getting downhill. Big body. Pretty good short stick defense right there from Indiana.
Kind of stalemated him.
Yeah, did a nice job. Drove him to the pylon. No slide needed. Little two-man with Wiley Bonham. Getting a little stagnant here from the Chapman offense. Another long dodge. Great short stick defense from Indiana. Outstanding.
You hear Coach Hartley say, let's hold the ball, boys.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a timer on here. They haven't attempted a shot yet.
As an official, if you hear the coach saying that, it's going to make your hand go up a little bit sooner.
If I'm the Hoosiers right now, I'm chirping. And this is, they're not putting pressure on the cage. I would definitely put the timer on. Nice defense.
I read an article this year by, I forget which Division I lacrosse team it was, but they said, in the NCAA level, it averaged, and we get kind of a fake jump, great save, but it takes them at least a minute after every possession, after every face-off to get their personnel on.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. There's teams out there that don't look to push the ball at all, have very methodical substitution packages, and they just shorten the game. And I get it. You play to your personnel, and you try to coach to keep games competitive. And some folks are in win-now mentality. you know, and they need to get W's. But I'm not sure that you know, your team is getting better over the course of the season that way.
Indiana unable to clear the ball, squirts out.
It's been their, you know, Achilles heel this week is just they haven't been able to clear the ball, and it's just starting to really, you know, tilt the field towards Chapman.
Coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Chapman holds on to a 2-goal lead.
Back into this 1-4-1 set. They're going to look to dodge, draw a hedge, and throw back. Here you go.
Slide comes, interesting approach with the two-handed chop.
And they're not looking to dodge those wings to score. So I'm just not sure that you need to slide there.
And there they go. There's our 30-second timer on. Looks like we got till about.
It's great defense. I'm so impressed with Indiana. McGuirk got it.
Gets the backhander. Can we call that a Lyle Thompson now? Is that did he Thompson him, or did he not invent that play? He may have made it popular though. So
yeah,
2.5 left. Chapman takes a 3-goal lead on McGuirk's backhand from X.
Come on, let's go! Let's go, Sub! Gucci! Offense, 2:30. Time and score. Guys, how about over here?
Fancy finish from McGuirk.
You gotta wonder where that Indiana juice went.
Yeah, it starts right here. It starts right here at the face-off X. They just haven't. I don't think they've had a possession this half.
Jack him!
Oop.
Get out!
And the grass has died. It's gonna be Chapman ball.
So we learned earlier this is the first time all season Chapman's played on grass.
Get out! Get out! Push him out!
10-4. 10-4. The Cal Bears over the Colorado Buffaloes at the moment. And those kinds of shots are the only thing that's going to allow momentum to swing back into Indiana's favor here.
So Cal, the 13 seed, up big on Colorado, the 4 seed. Could see our first upset of the day, the entire Division II. All 8 higher seeds advance to the second round.
Indiana just needs to get a healthy possession here, and that finishes with a quality shot.
Indiana a little frantic pace here. Not sure this favors them.
No, yeah, they got to get back to what they were doing early, which is running their stuff and playing with confidence.
Value. Don't got to shoot it.
Coming up on a minute here. Farino, he's got some burst at that lefty shot. We saw it earlier.
Nice little box fake, nice little bounce.
Sella's. Looks like they're going to wind this clock down a little bit.
Great catch up front. .35
left in the quarter.
Great approach. Way to use that top hand as kind of a driving force.
Yeah, that kid's a fire hydrant. Strong kid, good base.
Great job.
Very strong on-ball D. They get caught up in a pick. Oh, he hung his stick. I think he just got tired there.
Sure.
He was gassed at the end of the play. They got caught up in a pick, and he had the opportunity to turn the corner and hung his stick into the quarter. Big stand from the Panthers.
After 3, Chapman 8, Indiana 5. We still got a ball game. We're going to take a break. You're watching the 2018 MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour. We'll be right back.
I'm Greg Gurenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough? Can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Fourth quarter action, ready to kick off here. The Chapman Panthers, the 2016 national champions, with an 8-5 lead. They did not get off to a great start. Indiana had a lead. Not the type of score we were expecting here in the 16-1 matchup, I think. Chapman in the second half, like we just mentioned, they had one defensive possession. Indiana had the ball once.
It was 5-3 at half, Hoosiers, and it's been all Chapman.
Sure.
You know, again, another ball off the wing that comes up. Omar Faridi.
Stay on him! Stay on him! Stay on him! Check!
Inside roll here, Dodge. Garner gets his hands free, shoots and scores. Unassisted, does all the work himself. Chapman strikes first in the fourth. They have all the momentum in the world.
Indiana needs a spark here. They need a big ground ball. They need a you know, something big to help them change pace here, because momentum is all Chapman Panthers right now.
Took them 25 seconds to get that first goal. Just like that, it's almost like a carbon copy, making it look easy.
I think fatigue is starting to play a role a little bit here for the Hoosiers as well.
Ferrati, a San Clemente guy. You know, we talked in the previous game about, you know, removing the face-off from the game. And I think right now the Chapman Panthers would not want that.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting because at the beginning of the game, Indiana was getting the best of them. But the Chapman wing play between Farhadi and Jack Phillips has been just outstanding. And it's just generated possession after possession for the Panthers, allowing them kind of assert themselves here. A little stagnant offensively. Let's see that 1-4-1 wing dodge. See if they can hit the follow.
Getting top side. They find Garner on the backside.
Totally screen shot.
Goalie didn't even know it was in the back of the net.
No idea.
He heard the whistle.
Yeah, he was completely screened. Garner to Bonham, right over the top, and you know Bonham does what he does best. He sets his feet and lets it go. 10-5 Panthers.
Game slipping away from the Hoosiers here. Chapman's doubled them up. 10-5.
But based off our previous conversation, this is not a time for a timeout.
Correct. Well, if that's the way you operate.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's gonna get away from them completely if you don't do something adjustment wise, and maybe that's why a timeout's effective. You can change your strategy.
Indiana needs a face-off win here if they have any
Farhadi
plans of getting
off the wing. Physical presence. Big time grounder. Just what Indiana needed. Face-off guy on face-off guy here. Kane and Halliburton.
So here's Indiana.
Pressing the issue. Pressure.
Do not need an early shot.
No, not at all. Farino wants his left hand. Chapman's onto it. Show from Souza.
Dangerous pass.
Yeah. Got some heavy legs there.
Let's see if Indiana can chip away here and take back some of this momentum. They came out of the gate fast.
Mexico! Mexico!
Nice look.
Quality shot.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of their dodges, they're getting, they're not easy. You know, they have to be physical in all their dodges. They're not really getting a lot of separation.
Yeah, the on-ball matchups are tough, and then off-ball, there's a little bit of standing around, and that's shrinking the space and room to operate for the Dodger as well.
Mexico! Switch it! Just switch! Just switch!
There's Freedy. Here comes a trail check, and he gets it. Saw that coming a mile away.
Farhadi, I love him. Instinctual player. And then just a completely... rush shot there from Heaps.
Chapman almost throws it out. Good piece of body work there. And a ground ball from Brewster.
Gets a touch. Chapman ball. Chapman possession here. Opportunity to start to run some clock here in the fourth quarter. That's exactly what Coach Hartley's thinking here.
So I just feel like, you know, when Chapman has the ball, they're not being grinded on, you know, whereas Indiana, nothing's easy for them.
Right. I think a lot of that has to do with just the time of possession. They're tired. About 10.5.
And I think Chapman's defensively, they're bringing the fight to him. They're the hammer, not the nail.
That's right. And it's all about tempo, right? And then we saw that in the first half. Indiana was able to dictate tempo, and really since the halftime, Chapman has been completely in control. Loose.
Great job getting in front.
Big time effort.
Great ride.
Yeah. We'll see
still
here.
Alive. Ping pong ball all over the place. Well, we're going to do a little conversation from the ref. They're going to call a push back to Chapman.
I think that's a tough call there.
Hard call to make for an official. Indiana coach trying to find an explanation as to why the shot clock was turned off, as there actually was no shot. But I believe that in that push violation, does that?
Push wipes it off.
Wipes it off as well. Here's McQuirk from X.
He is a quick, shifty. He's going to go to his right, but he is a shifty player.
And here comes that clock again. Dylan Garner trying to get left and right. Scoots between three. Nothing doing. Great save.
Yeah, great save, but, you know, honestly, don't love that possession from Chapman.
Sure.
Now, I get it, they're up 5, but you got to continue
Shot clock, though.
Got to continue to, yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they valued the ball, but keep running your offense. You know, you don't just hold on to it.
And here's that Chapman pressure once again. Indiana can't seem to get anything.
Yeah, they're really struggling when the ball's in between the lines. Chapman's just kind of really shrinking the field on them. They were able to handle that pressure early with even the 10-man from Chapman, and now later in the later stages of the game, just struggling with it. Chapman just went off sides, and the refs did not catch it. Oh, they're good. Yeah, see, and this is what I don't like. I get that you want to run the clock, but you're not running your offense anymore, and it leads to sloppy, kind of uncharacteristic turnovers.
You got to find that balance between attacking and possessing.
Yeah, you still got to do what you do.
Now let's see if Indiana can weather the defense here. Let's see how much pressure Chapman applies. Indiana with one of their longest possessions here, the second half.
Nice play. See, Chapman's just being aggressive defensively. They see a 2-man game, they're going to jump the ball carrier.
Sure.
And with a 5-goal lead, you can operate that way. Why not?
You can gamble a little bit. Great look up top. There's
piece. And now we're going to have numbers. Let's see if they hold the ball or choose to take advantage of this fast break.
Got to use the fast break. If you get a fast break, you use it. Good job being conservative there. Absorbing a couple slashes there.
Garner's style is real unique. He's kind of like Gumby. You know, he's yeah. He slithers in and out of dodges, and I think he's bigger than he probably looks, and he's got a better step than it looks. It's just kind of deceptive athletically. Sure. It's like a slinky. It's a quick shot clock.
It's a quick shot clock.
Now, granted, he went behind the cage and just stood there.
Stood there, yeah. Didn't do himself any favors.
I just don't love that.
Well, that's the thing about the shot clock that most people, I would agree, don't like, is it's a discretionary judgment call. Shot clock doesn't work. Chapman with the goal, 11-5.
A little bit of talking and a little jawing after the game, or after the goal, excuse me.
Pouring it on a little bit.
That's that deceptive step, you know.
Right.
He uses shakes, get to his right hand, and he kind of knows he's going right, but deceptive first step. And he's long, so he can get that kind of head of his stick out in front and finish.
Exactly 6 minutes remaining. 11-5, first round of the national tournament. Chapman the heavy favorite. Obviously in their first half they didn't really get it done, but they've absolutely poured it on here in the second half.
I mean, Jack Phillips, can't say enough about his game off the wing of faceoffs. Just been dynamic, great speed, earning his team possession after possession. Him and Farhadi, just terrific.
Chapman bench getting a little more vocal, having a little bit more fun. I feel like they were a little bit of a shell shock there in the first half.
No doubt.
They weren't saying much.
No doubt. They did the Wolf on Wall Street chant at halftime, and ever since then it's been all Chapman. I just, you know, and this is another question for you, Coach Brand. Do you leave Dylan Garner on the field?
You're going to need him all week, so that's what you think. But
5 minutes left.
If you take him out, are you going to sacrifice? Well, That answers your question, Coach. I guess you leave him on the field when he gets a big goal.
It's now 12-5. I'd be like, hey, Dylan, why don't you come over here and ice up?
Right.
And here goes Coach Hartley.
He might hurt us.
Yeah, substituting his attack unit.
A little preventative maintenance here, making sure these guys are ready for the week to grind. Another ball game tomorrow if they wrap this one up.
The other part of it is these guys on the team that are getting on the field now for Chapman.
Capable guys.
They've been capable, and they've been working their tails off. They've been part of a championship team in the SLC, and this is their opportunity to play in the national tournament. So, kudos to them. Not overlooking Indiana, and this may be an opportunity for Indiana to get some edge back, but I think these Chapman backups deserve an opportunity as well. Halliburton selling out for the ground ball, but Indiana comes up with it. Salza does such a good job of just stealing space there and making everything uncomfortable.
Sure. Yes. Now you got to get into this mode for Indiana. We got to create some shots.
Yeah.
We can't just take any shot.
Well, yeah, it's tough. They're not a play from behind type team.
Right.
They were in their element in the first half when they were playing a little slow and keeping the tempo of the game down.
And there you go.
Yeah.
They lose the ball. Well, got to give them credit for the first half.
Absolutely.
Throwing the first punch.
Absolutely. They're well coached and they executed, and I just think that the athleticism and overall experience level of Chapman just kind of got the best of him.
Getting some defensive subs here as well for the Panthers. We get a timeout, Chapman. 3:45 left. Big 12-5 lead. If you're checking into this game right now, you're getting it at a different perspective.
No question. No question. It was an absolutely stunning first half. Great execution from the Hoosiers. Unfortunately for them, Chapman really brought their A game in the second half here.
So we'll take a break. 3:45 left in the fourth. Chapman looks to put the bow on this first round victory. We'll take a quick break from the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. We're back in Salt Lake City. Quick restart here for the Panthers. Chapman, the #1 seed, was on the ropes in the first half. Went to the halftime with an Indiana lead, but it's been all Panthers in the second half here.
Got to look for an early timer on here from the officials. I mean, they're not even looking to go to the cage. There it is.
That was like a 5-second timer. Never seen those before. Good tip. Oh, they're going to call it back to Chapman.
Timer's still on.
Got about 25 seconds left in the timer. That shot doesn't reset the shot clock, only off the pipe or the goalie or a violation. Resets the shot clock. You rolled in the corner here at some point, or you just try to get any shot?
I think you roll it in the corner and get defensive people on.
Got an injured player down in the field. And we'll get a whistle. Travis Hugues, a sophomore attackman from Trumbull, Connecticut, down on the ground. And he's back to his feet in his own power. Good thing to see out there. Sella wearing the Kanye cleats here in front of us.
Yeah. He's an MICDS kid.
Sure.
Yeah, St. Louis. Really strong high school program led by Andy Kay, great coach. And, Will was a fantastic high school player, and it shows he's dominating out here. Has had a real nice game and nice season for the Hoosiers.
Missouri Independent Country Day School?
No, it's Mary Institute.
Country Day School.
Yeah, there you go.
Shot save.
Oh, backup goalie.
Yeah.
One shot, one save.
Daniel Aguilar, the junior goalie.
Yeah. I think Aguilar has played some
year.
significant minutes for Chapman. He's an experienced guy.
I'm sure Twitter will correct our MICDS.
Yeah, Coach K, if you're listening out there, hook me up because I'm not that knowledgeable.
Shot.
Chapman staying aggressive out here.
Hunter Pearson, another Connecticut native.
Timeout, Indy. So we're going to look to see those guys come out in some sort of double team or pressure type scenario to try to get the ball on the ground.
Timeout on the field. 1:57 remaining. Chapman 12, Indiana 5. We're right back from Salt Lake. And we're back from Salt Lake. You take a look at the Chapman huddle here. Behind us, the Utah Utes, the home team, the number 2 seed, up 20-5 on the Aggies of Texas A&M.
It's always tough. Tough first round matchup. Obviously, Utah's strong this year. And,
sleeping in their own beds.
Yeah. Aggies, I think, might be in the finals week on the road. It's difficult. No double team from Indianapolis here.
Indiana.
Yeah, whatever.
Bloomington. Minute 40 left. Not sure what the timeout was for. Maybe to change personnel.
I would not have Dylan Garner on the field. Chapman was ready for the double, though. They had a nice little swing through the substitution box in order to prevent any type of double team.
Thankfully for you, Dylan Garner's not on the field. That's Blake Lee, 17.
Garner was just on and then subbed off.
Okay, I stand corrected. Waiting for that quick shot clock here.
I mean, good save.
Oh, it was already on.
Sun's right in his eyes. I mean, that was a tough save there. That was a nice save.
Here we go, Indiana. Let's get one. Let's have one. This guy wants to shoot. Nope. Great look. Pass isn't on point. They'll possess. We're under a minute 45. So under a minute here, Coach. Chapman's going to walk away with a victory, but I can guarantee Coach Hartley's not pleased about the way they started this ball game, because when they play against a stronger team tomorrow, if they come out the same way, they may not be able to crawl their way back.
I think you got to look at the glass half full here, Mike.
Sure.
They adjusted. A big goal by Sella. Yeah, big fella got downhill, right-handed. But I think you got to look at the glass half full here. Obviously, you didn't start the way you wanted, but you know what? They adjusted at halftime. They dictated tempo. And they really kind of took control of this thing.
So Sella gets the Hoosiers' first goal of the second half. 12-6, 25 seconds remaining. Chapman gets out of here relatively healthy, and they have some great things to build on. Like you said, they did a great job of kind of going to halftime and figuring things out, making their adjustments. And
Yep, and I just heard Coach Hartley. I have so much respect for him. He said to his guys, they played their hearts out and they had a great game plan, you know, and he's mature enough and he's obviously confident in his team, but he also respects his opponent, and I'm just really impressed with the Chapman guys and the way they responded.
Second half was all fire on the mountain for the Chapman Panthers. They come away with a 12-6 win. They advance. The Hoosiers go home. Lots of credit to Coach Nelson and the Hoosiers. Gave a big fight in the first half, but ultimately were outmatched there in the last 30 minutes. So we're going to go to a break. We'll be back with the fourth game of the night. Concordia Irvine and Liberty here from Salt Lake City, Utah. For Dylan Sheridan, my name is Mike Brand. We'll be back. Thanks for joining us. You're watching the MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough to kind of help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight. You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings. Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid? See ya! Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit